In 1949, French philosopher Simone de Beauvoir published The Second Sex. De Beauvoir argued that women were socially constructed as the other, defined in relation to men as the self. She claimed that femininity was a social construct and that women were fundamentally oppressed by men in their roles as wives and mothers. Betty Friedan later credited The Second Sex as a key inspiration for her own work and the rise of second-wave feminism. To see my video on first-wave feminism, check out the cards or the link below. In 1963, Friedan published The Feminine Mystique, portraying the post-war suburban housewife as trapped and unfulfilled. She famously called marriage a comfortable concentration camp, sparking the second-wave feminist movement. However, she ignored women who genuinely enjoyed homemaking. During the First and Second World Wars, millions of women worked in male-dominated fields. The 1950s brought an economic boom and return to domestic life. Innovations like washing machines, electric ovens, and the contraceptive pill made homemaking easier and preferable for many women. Hollywood actresses like Vivien Leigh, Marilyn Monroe, and Rita Hayworth thrived, and Sylvia Plath became a renowned poet. Women already had growing opportunities for independence, and capitalism gave women the chance to earn their own money. Many still chose to focus on family, which historically aligned with practical division of labor and societal stability. Friedan dismissed the male role entirely and pushed a narrative that all women were oppressed. She ignored both the fact that many women valued family over career and that many women already had been working outside the home. In 1966, Friedan founded the National Organization for Women. Equal pay for equal work had already been established in 1963 under President JFK's administration, with women like Esther Peterson helping to push it forward. Feminist lobbying often focused on perceived inequalities rather than actual gaps in rights. This has led to biases against men in the divorce courts, domestic violence cases, and false rape accusations. Gloria Steinem emerged as a leading figure, popularizing phrases like, "A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle." Documents later revealed Steinem had CIA connections in the 1970s, acting as a government-supported agitator. Friedan and the National Organization for Women advocated for the Equal Rights Amendment, or the ERA, which would have legally equated men and women. Phyllis Schlafly launched Stop ERA, warning that it would strip women of privileges like dependent wife benefits, alimony protections, and exemption from the draft. Schlafly exemplified a modern liberated woman. She was married with 6 children, an author of 19 books, and a Republican congressional candidate. She criticized feminism as a pursuit of power for left-leaning women rather than genuine equality, highlighting the disconnect between feminist theory and lived experience. Abortion became legal in the US in 1973, largely through a Republican-dominated Supreme Court ruling emphasizing individual liberty and safety. Abortion was already legal in the UK after unsafe backstreet abortions prompted reform. By the way, I myself do not think abortion should be illegal, but I do think that feminism celebrates abortion rather than seeing it as an unfortunate occurrence. Second-wave feminism split over sexual liberation. Kate Millett's Sexual Politics framed heterosexual sex as a power struggle, while Catherine McKinnon and Andrea Dworkin campaigned against pornography and prostitution. Helen Gurley Brown promoted sex-positive feminism and the idea that women could have it all, clashing with more radical feminists. Feminist celebrations of abortion and sexual liberty often went beyond practical or humanitarian concerns, promoting ideology over nuance. Key feminist thinkers also introduced the idea that gender is socially constructed. Academia created women's and gender studies courses, teaching that gender is performative rather than biological. Thinkers like Judith Butler expanded these theories inspired by neo-Marxist views. Feminists argued that men and women could perform the same roles, ignoring historical and biological context. This led to the social constructionist narrative of gender. Second-wave feminism also had deep consequences for African American families. Anti-male rhetoric and emphasis on female independence contributed to fatherlessness in Black communities. Research shows that father absence correlates with behavioral and mental health challenges in boys. Single-parent families are more predictive of criminal involvement than race or income. While African Americans fought for civil rights, Second wave feminism was largely a white women's movement. Upper middle class white feminists equated their experiences with systemic oppression, often overlooking racial and class realities. Second wave feminism from 1963 to the 1980s pushed for radical cultural change, promoting anti-male rhetoric, sexual liberation, and academic reinterpretation of gender. It contributed to family breakdown and devalued traditional roles. Capitalism had already been giving career-focused women opportunities to thrive independently. Feminism just led to a hatred of men and tension between the sexes. For deeper analysis, Sex Matters by Mona Charan offers statistics and critique on feminism's impact on male and female relations. Had second wave feminism ended in the 1980s, society may have had a chance to stabilize before the rise of modern woke ideology.